Judith Browne Dianis is a voting rights expert and executive director of the Advancement Project National Office. She joins us via Skype from Washington, D.C. Thank you for joining us. I wonder what you think the effect will be of the changes, for example, in Florida.
Well, thank you for having me. And what Governor DeSantis and the Republican legislature is trying to do is to make it harder for people to vote. What we saw in this country in 2020 was record turnout of voters. And what has happened is that Republicans, especially at the state level, have moved to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Because they don't like the people who actually turned out in places like Georgia, where you had African Americans turning out in record numbers. So now there is this effort to make it harder to vote because they saw too many people coming out, and because we know that the changing demographics of the United States shows that Black and brown people are increasing in numbers, and that we will probably see a shift in power in this country. And so this is the attempt
sorry to interrupt.
to slow that.
I just want to pin you down on presumably that the Republicans would argue that if the laws are applied to everyone and people are properly informed, then it isn't necessarily discriminatory. So which particular bits of the bill would make it difficult for particular groups to vote?
Sure. Well, what they've done is that they actually, with precision, looked at the laws that affected Black voters in particular. So, for example, in Texas, they had drive-through voting in Houston, Texas, where over 127,000 voters, mostly Black and Latino, voted. They want to get rid of that, right? Making early voting, cutting back on early voting hours that they know Black voters used in places like Georgia and in Florida. They want to get rid of that or limit that. And so this really is about the ways in which we expanded voting that Black and Latino voters took advantage of are the things that they're rolling back.
So various groups have decided to sue or to counter-sue against these measures. How likely is it they'll succeed?
Well, I mean, I think we still have the Voting Rights Act, even though the Supreme Court has weakened it. And groups like Advancement Project, we have been using it, and we will continue to use it. And so we're going to fight around these bills. We're going to fight back. And then in the end, what will happen is that voters are going to get rid of the people who want to silence them, the people who want to make it harder to vote. And so this is a 1-2 punch. We're going to be suing in court, but we're also going to be turning out the vote to get rid of the people who are attacking our democracy.
Judith Browne Dianis, thank you very much indeed for your perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.